Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in to yet another gameplay. I'm your host, That Dragon Guy, and today we're going to be playing Plague Inc. But before we actually get into the gameplay, I'm going to show you something. As you can see on my campaign here on my Steam mode, I have pretty much everything beat on Mega Brutal, except for like a couple of them that I need to finish. But the reason why I haven't finished them is because not only do I have Plague Inc. on my Steam, which is this right here, I also have Plague Inc. on my phone and on my PlayStation 4, and my Steam is the only one where I've unlocked all the cheats, or almost all the cheats, almost all the, actually all the plagues, and all the different things that you can add to your plague. But before I go to my PS4, I want to show you why I cannot record my Steam. So, we're going to start the game. We're going to keep all that shit the same because I actually cannot record this part. So, and if you look, I actually didn't have all the genes unlocked for here. I have almost all the genes unlocked. But anyway, we're going to play it on normal just because it's not going to work out that well, and you'll see what I mean. So, we're going to hit play, and when I hit play here, we get rid of this shit. And then when I get rid of that stuff, for me, it's working perfectly fine. Everything's running smoothly. But for the recording, it kind of locks up a little bit. So I'm sure that you see on my OBS that it's not recording all that well. And as you can see, I've got stuff going to where it automatically pops all the bubbles, so I don't have to worry about it. But everything's kind of locking up. I'm sure that's how it's showing because that's usually what happens when I record Plague Inc. on my Steam. So this is why we're not recording the game where I have everything unlocked. So now that I've said all that, we're going to move to the PS4 to play Plague Inc., which is the one game where I don't have everything unlocked. So we're going to move to the PS4, and I will be right back. Alright, so we have moved to the PlayStation 4 to where I don't have everything unlocked. As you can see, it's loading here. Let's select a new game. Let's select main game. As you can see, I don't have everything unlocked, obviously. So in order to unlock the next one, we need to go to the virus. We need to select this. Let's look through all of our things here. Cure bonuses from cure bubbles. Alright, that's fine. Your plague is harder to cure. That's fine because the rest of this shit wouldn't help. We have increased the chance of plague by sea. Let's pick plague more likely to cross a closed land border, which totally makes sense, and you'll see why in a few minutes. We got the rural area, but we're gonna make it to where it survives in humid climates. And last but not least, we definitely need the cost to de-evolve does not increase. And that's because the virus mutates very, very fast. So let's go ahead and start a new game. And I always start my game in Greenland because Greenland is very, very, very easy to infect. So now we need to speed up time. And the reason why we can go full speed on the PlayStation 4 is because it's very, very easy to pop all the bubbles, because all you gotta do is wiggle the joystick and constantly press R2 and you'll pop the bubbles no problem, even without the cheat that I have on my Steam version to where it'll pop bubbles automatically, because basically just wiggling the joystick will pop them automatically. And in order to make sure that we don't get discovered, we have to keep evolving any and all symptoms until the world is completely infected. Something else we need to do to make sure the infection grows, you mainly need to start with the ocean travel, because Greenland only has an ocean, a harbor. It does not have an airport, as you can see if you look at the screen here. It only has the harbor there at the bottom. There's no actual airport up there. So you definitely need to where it'll travel by water a lot easier. Greenland's becoming more infective. We got the rash symptom that is evolved, but we don't want any symptoms evolving whatsoever right now. So we have to get rid of that and de-evolve it. Alright, and we've spread to another country. And now that we've spread to another country, it doesn't really matter. We just need to completely upgrade all of the transmission things, including air and sea. Otherwise, they'll have a new thing that'll prevent it from traveling. We need to get rid of that symptom. There we go. Moving on. Black Titus has infected thousands of people. And apparently we're now in Russia because I just got a cure bubble from over there. And as you can see, Greenland is infecting really fast, and it's almost completely infected as fast as it's going, as you can see. Pop more DNA bubbles. And the cyst symptom has evolved, and we need to de-evolve it. Thank you. We got more bubbles here to pop. And Greenland has been completely taken over by my virus. Now, Greenland is screwed. Now we just need to move to other countries, and to speed that up, let's go ahead and click the second air travel thing. So far, so good. Everything's working out. My virus has not been discovered yet, but we have a new symptom that we need to de-evolve. There we go. Cool. Alright, we got a lot of DNA bubbles there. 5 altogether. As you can see, Russia is slowly becoming completely infected. We've infected over 200,000 people. That's working really well. We got a lot of DNA bubbles to pop here. We gotta de-evolve the coughing symptom. We gotta get out of that screen. I ended up missing one bubble because I got distracted, but that's okay. It'll be perfectly fine. We have another country that's completely taken over. It's Kazakhstan or whatever. I don't know how to say it. We got more than one country. Afghanistan's been completely infected, pretty much. We got another bubble to pop there. Central Asia has been completely infected. We need to de-evolve the symptom there. Alright, now as you can see, all the countries that have low health standards and medication is pretty much completely involved. Now, in order to infect the other areas, we need to get that, the medicine type 1 thing, and now it should travel a lot better because normal medicine will not cure it. As you can see, we've already got this part completely being infected here. I have over 1 million people infected now, and we're slowly moving to other countries. But as I pointed out, in order to infect other countries, we need to keep being unnoticed and make our plague stronger. Let me go ahead and get the second medication thing there so it can move to other countries a lot easier. Because it may have lines going to North America and South America, but their medicine apparently is too strong to deal with my virus. You know, so we need to make it to where the medicine's weaker against my virus. Now, let's speed up transmission a little bit more, and it'll spread even better. Oh, I accidentally almost skipped that anemia thing that popped up there. We need to get rid of that. That way we're not discovered, because we have half the world, or almost half the world, completely infected. We want pretty much the entire world infected before it gets discovered. So we need to make sure we do not get discovered until almost the entire world is infected and there are no healthy people. Granted, we could just keep going until there are no healthy people and then let it mutate by itself. But, I don't know. It's kind of slow just to wait for the very, very last person to be infected. But we're going to get mighty close to where it's, close to the last person being infected. The one country that always gives me trouble is Africa here. Africa seems to infect very slowly, which is very sad. Anyway, since we have so many DNA points, let's go ahead and get that last transmission thing going there. That way it'll speed up transmission even faster. Or infection instead of transmission, however you want to say it. We got to get rid of anemia. And now, as you can see, Africa is pretty much the only country yet left. I realize that this country isn't fully infected, but they're half infected, and they're going mighty fast, so that's alright. We got to get rid of the coughing symptoms, so we're not discovered just yet. We don't want to be discovered yet, because the cure will end up happening faster than we can than we can infect. Now, in order to speed up the Africa infection, I don't have to do this, but I'm gonna do this. See, since I started in Greenland, I imagine it's already pretty much immune to the cold temperatures, but the hot temperatures is the problem. Now, we're also gonna get to where it slows down the cure when we finally get to the cure being ran. We gotta get rid of anemia. Otherwise, we're going to get discovered. And I keep stressing how much we don't want to get discovered. Because if they close the land borders here, it's going to be hard to infect the rest of the country. But once we infect the entire country, it won't be all that hard. We got to get rid of the rash, de-evolve. Thank you. We're still getting bubbles for DNA, which is good. And slowly but surely, as you can see, it's growing down here at the bottom. We need to get rid of the rash symptom yet again. There we go. Hopefully we get some more DNA bubbles. Otherwise, this is going to go downhill very quickly, because Africa is not fully infected just yet. It's almost there, but it's not there just yet. Luckily, we have enough DNA bubbles to de-evolve it one more time. And we gotta get rid of the coughing symptom. There we go. Almost the entire world is infected, which means we shouldn't have too much trouble. But before we let it mutate by itself, we need to let the last little bit here get infected. Those two little spots are always the spots that give me the most trouble. These two little spots. We need to get rid of anemia. There we go. Now we got one spot left of Africa. That is it. And once that's fully infected, we can let our plague run wild. Now it says there are 5,000 people dead, but that's only because of natural disasters and whatnot else. Like usual, it's this one little tiny spot that's giving me trouble, so we still need to get rid of the rash symptom. Come on, infect the last little spot here. My plague is still infecting people. We just needed to finish off the very last little bit of Africa there. And then once that happens, we can wreak havoc. Let's really quickly look at our entire thing here. As you can see, every country is infected. Every single one of them. There's not a single country that is safe once I actually let my plague evolve. But for right now, we're going to stop it, because we're not fully infected just yet. I still have enough DNA to de-evolve it one more time, which is great. And the entire world's almost infected. There are no healthy people left in the world. That is great. That is wonderful. Let's go ahead and evolve that, and now we'll just let it mutate by itself. A new minor disease is spreading. Yep, everyone's starting on the cure. That's wonderful. Sneezing has mutated. I need the cure bubbles to start popping up so I can get some more DNA, so I can kill everybody faster than the cure is happening. I just need the cure bubbles to start popping up. Hopefully they'll pop up here in a minute, because we're at 6%, 7% of the cure. I just need the plague to mutate a little bit more, I guess, by itself. Pneumonia has mutated, as you just saw. But the entire world is infected. I just need the cure bubbles to start popping up. If they pop up, sometimes the cure bubbles won't pop up for some reason, which makes no sense to me, but it'll be okay. We have 5 plague things. And the one thing you always need is not this, but the pathogen destroys motor neurons and blah blah blah, causes paralysis and whatnot. That's not the one you need. The one you need is still not discovered yet. It has a heart, a picture of the heart. That's the one you need the most to destroy the world the fastest. So far the cure is at 25%, and we got the cure bubbles popping up. Okay, this is good. So since the cure bubbles are popping up, that's the one we need. We need 31 DNA points and the world is mine. That's all we need, is 31 DNA points. So we need some more cure bubbles to pop up. Once they happen and we get to 31 DNA, the world is mine and the world is over. We're at 13 DNA so far. The cure is at 46%, it looks like. But it's okay. Once we make it to that 31%, it won't matter. We're at 21%. We're at 26%. Come on, give me a couple more cure bubbles. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. The rash symptom has mutated. We're at 30%. We are at 33. Get that last thing. And now people will start dying a lot faster. And it should race faster than the cure bubbles killing people. Normally it does. If it doesn't work out, I don't know what to tell you. Because normally this is how I beat the game right here. We're probably going to have to slow the cure down just a little bit. But as you can see, everybody's dying rather fast. I've already killed half the world. They're almost completely dead. Let's go over here. And we're going to make it a little bit harder to cure by hitting that and this. Good. Now we're back down to 74% for the cure. And the whole world is almost dead. There are only 2 billion people left. And they're almost all taken care of. We have a lot of DNA points now, so we can get that last thing. No, we don't want to de-evolve. I want you to go up here and do that. There we go. Mutate. And the cure is slowing down because most of the human population is dead. The whole world is almost defeated. There's only a few million left. 400 million left. I don't really need to collect any more DNA bubbles. It's pretty much over. That is it. This is what would happen if the coronavirus takes over and infects more people. It's rather scary, as you can see. We're down to less than 100 million. We're almost down to 50 million. We're going so fast destroying the world. The cure is stuck at 75%. It's almost all over with now. My plague has pretty much destroyed the entire world. And that's just how it is. That's what happens when a plague happens that we don't have a cure for. Once the brightest people die, the cure comes to a halt. It's almost over. We got 1 million people left. Couple 100,000 left. Oh, it's so close to being over. And we win. Victory, that is it. The world has died. We have won the virus on normal mode with no trouble whatsoever. Those are the tips and tricks of conquering Plague Inc. And now that we've beat it on normal, it's going to save. And then when we go back into another thing here, when we exit that, we have unlocked a new Plague and Gene discovery. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell because I post every single day, and you surely want to be notified. All that being said, I've been your host, That Dragon Guy, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.